Good morning, traders. So we're looking at the Aussie, the South African top 40. Now, finally, yesterday we had some action, and that action is we are bottom of the range again, which is pretty much this previous swing high here. You can see that was resistance, there was support, an attempt at support, and we're now on this level as well. So we've closed here. Now, the critical factor here is from the previous swing low, which is around here, at 45,215, you can see the oscillator is grouped sort of in the buy zone, not quite underneath this dotted line here of minus 80, but where we are now, we're minus 80. So what does that give us? That gives us diversions. That is continuation divergence. So in other words, we had a low, higher low, where here you had a low and a lower low. So that is busy forming. Obviously, we want to see a green day, and that would give us confidence that we have the potential for another assault at the 200 EMA. Okay, so let's get to the 4 hour. Okay, you can see we also tagged the 200, well, not quite, almost tagged the 200 EMA on the 4 hour. And yesterday I was looking at that area there for bottom of range, but we'll just look at that on the lower time frame just to see what actually transpired. But if you have a look at the 4 hour here, the opening bar has really been a pin bar and then some follow through. Okay, so there was your, like I said yesterday, we were below the alligator, where they went to test the break of the alligator. Your entry short was up there, and I would have taken profit already. Not that I traded this, I was on the Dow yesterday. So this, at this stage, I think is a profit-taking area. It is also an area to be looking for longs. Okay, so let's just get to the hour. And you can see you had this pin bar here off the bottom of the range, and then for some reason we continued. And I wasn't watching this, so I'm not 100% sure what happened. But it wasn't our friend Naspas, because that was fairly flat, so obviously there was something else that was taken out. Anyway, nevertheless, Rand dollar 13.40. That's slightly weaker than what it was, which weak Rand means strong top 40, so that's a possibility. Nasdaq is up 1.2% yesterday. 10 centers flat at the moment, and the S&P was also up, not much, 0.68%. Okay, so that is, I just want to do a refresh on this site, just make sure that, yeah, that is correct. Okay, so nothing really else here. Let's just have a look at the first thing, which was our measured move. That's pretty much played out. We've extended beyond the measured move ever so slightly. So as I said yesterday, first move consolidation, was expecting something around here. We got it, and we moved the downside. Now, just to recap on the closing range strategy here. So this would have stopped you out. Okay, so let's just get to the 5-minute chart here. So basically, we had a close above the range. Then we got 2 pin bars, which would have been sort of a warning. Let's first start at the beginning. First, we got this close outside of the range. So you would have expected a pullback into maybe gap close here, and then a pullback. We went past gap close. We did form a reversal pattern. If I look at the 12, nothing really on the 12, but very volatile. 6 minutes. We did leave a gap down here, which is also an indication. When you see these gaps, so you don't see it on the 5 minute, but I've noticed on the 6 minute, which is why I look at the 6 minutes. When you see a 6 minute gap like that, they're often filled. Okay, so this little topsy-turvy environment here would have stopped you out. The second break below here, as well as being below the alligator, that was actually your Q. Okay, so your Q was around here on this retest with this pin bar, sort of just below the pin bar, up there. I would have just moved it up to about 100-point stop loss. Got a bit topsy-turvy, and then we continued on down, which was a good 400, 500 point, 520 point trade. And then obviously you got the middle hours, or the middle session, lunchtime session, where there's always very little going on. Okay, so yeah, it would have stressed you out. It did work out to the downside though, but this up and down here would have been difficult to trade. But nevertheless, if we just looked at the 30-minute, you would have had a warning here with this massive pin bar here, sort of rejecting. I don't know what it was rejecting. Probably rejecting this area here. Yeah, there it is there. Okay. So, yeah, so that was that. I suppose if you were awake, you could have got in looking for just below this pin bar here. You could have had an order up there, but your stop would have had to have been way up here, which is rather large. Anyway, let's look at today. Today, I'm really going to focus on the closing range again, purely because we are now bottom of range as far as I'm concerned. If you look at the left here, you can see there's a lot of interaction inside this zone. Okay, we've hit it, we've turned, we've bounced off it. We do it on the 4-hour. You'll see going all the way back. You'll see there's a lot of interaction in this area, and we have the 4-hour 200 EMA. Oscillators are grouped correctly. We do have a bit of diversions. I don't have a wise man number one. This one here looked like a wise man number one, but it wasn't. If you look at price here, price and this red line, the middle line of the alligator, was pretty much running parallel, so there's no diversions, no wise man number one there. There is a potential for one sitting here at the close. Okay, so what I'm looking for is a move to the upside off this area. So I'm treating this really as a bottom of range. Okay, and the other thing that I would be looking to see is a retest of this break. Okay, now if you look at the 4-hour, we do have diversions from the alligator. So there you may open flat, close a little bit further down. We do have a gap at the bottom as well, so I suppose we need to take cognizance of that. And quite a big gap here. So I'm really looking for a long off here, back to test this break, which will be a retest of the alligator, and then we may possibly be looking for another short. But for the intraday trade today, I'm looking for a long, and what's going to give it to me is really a break above 47,484, and I'm almost sure that this is going to line up. Yeah, so the range break height to the upside is going to line up with this diagonal, which is also the 30-minute alligator. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking for. From a technical perspective on the daily, trend is still up. On a weekly, we also have this weekly 200 moving average here. Okay, so yeah, that's my view for the morning. And obviously a break below here is going to bring this 200 moving average into play, but which is pretty close to there, so that's where we are. Okay, let's just put that in, and then I'll give you the levels. Okay, so what we're expecting, or what I'm expecting right now, is I'm expecting this divergence. Is there divergence on the hour? Nope, not really. Okay, so what I'm expecting is closing range, breakout strategy to play out. So I'm looking for a break of 47,485. If we get that, I'm looking for 47.10 as my target. If you just look to the left, you've got some tails here, so that's an opportunity. And a break below 47,260 is going to give me 47.30. 47,260 is going to give me 47.30. And if we just look to the left to see what that lines up with, it does line up with some inside tails here, as well as there is some resistance, well, some areas of support here. Okay, as I say, this gap here is not a worry, but it could potentially be a target. So just keep that in mind as well if we do break to the downside. Yeah, I think the last thing I want to point out, and I'm going to do this on the 4-hour. And what we have here, I suppose if you do that, you're going to get a channel. If I do that, I'm going to get some kind of a wedge. Very untidy, so let's just leave it out. So I think that's my view on this today. I think what we're going to do is get a move to the upside, but that move to the upside may just potentially be held up by the alligator, and that's really going to be my retracement, and then I'm probably going to be looking at another move to the downside after that. Okay, so intraday for today, I'm looking for a long, but as I said, just watch for a break of the last hour of trading from yesterday. Okay, so 47,484 and 47,257 to the downside. Break either way is going to give you the direction, and the direction is the heights of the trade. So it's only a 200 and something point trade, but it may extend into something more. Okay, anyway, that's it for me. Hope that helps, and I will catch up with you guys later. Cheers for now.